All right, guys, we're going to stretch our brains this one. Um, Adam has 51-inch cubes. The cubes measure 1 inch on each edge. Adam wonders how many rectangular prisms, each with a different size base, that he could make with all the 1-inch cubes. We used to do this to make boxes. How many different boxes could we make with certain measurements of things going in it? So this is kind of the same thing. So I need to find a number of rectangular prisms. Each with a different size base that have a volume of 50-inch cubed. All right, I will use the formula of volume equals length times width times height. Or we could do volume equals base times height, and with the factors of 50. So this is where you have to know your facts, guys. So I'll use a table to help me make sure I get them all, and that show all the possible combinations of dimensions with a volume of 50-inch cubic inches without repeating. All right, so here's how we started off. I know that I can do a 1 by 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. So 1 times 1 times what equals 50? Well, 1 times 50. So my length and my width is 1, and my height is 50. So now I can do 1 times 2. I can try 1 times 2, and that's 2. 2 times what will get me to 50? Well, 2 times 25 will get me to 50. So I can do 1 times 2 times 25. Can I do 1 times 3? Why did they jump to 5? Because if I do 1 times 3, 3 times anything get me to 50? No. So 4 times anything get me to 50? No. 1 times 5. Yeah, that's 5. 5 times what will get me to 50? 10. 1 times 10. And you can go through your head to make sure you get them all. The 7, 8, 9, 10. But with if you know your factors of 50, you will know that they won't work. So 1 times 10 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50. 1 times 25 is 25 times 2 is 50. So we've pretty much run the gamut on just having one side, the length or the width of just 1. Or 1 times 50 and 1 height. All right, so let's start with 2. 2 times what? Well, we know 50 has a 0, so 2 times 5 is 10. So 10 times what to get me to 50? Well, 10 times 5. So over here it would be 2 times 5 times 5 equals 50. Let's see, 2 times 10. 2 times 10 is 40. Nope. 2 times anything else. Oh, 2 times 25. That will get me to 50, and it will be 1 high. So 2 times 25 times 1 equals 50. There's all my 2s, 3s, no, 4s, no, 5, yep. 5 times 1. But I already did that one. Okay, if we don't want to double. So 5 times 5 equals 25 times 2 high. 5 times 5 equals 25 times 2 equals 50. 5 times 10 equals 50, one high. So 5 times 10 times 1 equals 50. What else do you need to do to solve this problem? Well, I need to count how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many different ways? 10. I need to count all my ways. So I think it would be pretty impossible to keep track of all the ways if you didn't write them all down in the table. So let's try another one. Got to know your facts, guys. Okay, Mrs. Wilton is planning a rectangular flower box for her front window. She wants the flower box to hold exactly 16 cubic feet of soil. How many different flower boxes, all with the whole number dimensions and the different size base, would hold exactly 16 cubic inches? Okay, so what do I need to know? I need to know how many I can find that is exactly 16 cubic inches. What information do I need to know? I need to know what's the width times the length times the height that equals 16 cubic inches. So I'm just gonna, well, I'll just use the formula for it. So I'm gonna do a table just like I did before. I'm just gonna do this. And I don't know how many I'm going to need. I don't know how many you're going to need, but we're going to start. We got to know our facts equal 16. So the easy one to start is 1 times 1 times 16. 1 times 1 times 16. Okay, 1 times 2 equals 2. 2 times 8 equals 16. So 1 times 2 times 6 or times 8 equals 16. Anything times 3? No. Anything times 4? 1 times 4 times 4. 1 times 4 times 4 equals 16. We can do 1 times 8 times 2. 1 times 8 times 2 equals 16. Now we need to go to the 2's, and I want you to keep going until you get them all. I'm not going to tell you how many there is. You and your partner need to see if you can come up with them all. What are all the factors that make 16? All right, let's move on. Once you get that done, share and show. I would like you to do this with your partner. On here, I want you to show your work. We will skip the on your own. On here, I want you to do 1 through 5. You don't have to do 6. 1 or 2, and all of the rest. Now, guys, this is going to take a while, and you need to do the table. You need to get to work it so that you get used to showing your work. This is really real life. You're going to know a lot of different situations on how can I make the best use of whatever space I have. This is how you find out how much can I get into something and which is my best options.